Gamecast from MSN.
Hello, dear listener. Welcome to another MSN Gamecast. My name is Ian Lee, and I'm literally saluting you at the moment. I'm joined by Nick. Hello, Nick.
Hello there.
And we would be joined by Verity, but where's she gone?
She is en route to Tokyo as we speak.
Man alive. I'm envious for several reasons. Envious because I want to go to Tokyo again. Mm-hmm. And also it means that we can't show off that we've been to the Tokyo Game Show anymore, because she'll go, yeah, so have I.
Yeah, and I've done it more recently.
Was it a year ago that we went?
I know, it's gone by quick, hasn't it?
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's going to be a really good show, I think. Lots of good stuff.
It's going to be a bloke special. It won't be a bloke special. It'll still be as good as it's. What have we got coming up in the Gamecast today? Well, we're talking about Halo Reach, Call of Duty Black Ops, 25 years of Mario, Choo Choo Rocket, very, very exciting, and new Xbox controllers.
Yes.
Newish.
Sort of.
They're silver. We'll start, as always, though, Nick, with what have you been playing this month? You've been playing loads of stuff, because you sent me a sneaky email.
Yes, I did, yeah. I was playing lots of stuff because I went to Gamescom.
Okay.
So I saw an awful lot of coming soon type stuff.
Now, you saw them. Did you get to get hands-on? This is
mixed
the thing.
Bag. Some things you get to get hold of and others you don't. One that I didn't was the new Bioshock, because it's so new. It was the first thing that anyone was seeing of it at all. Bioshock Infinite.
Okay.
So
AKA Bioshock 3 is that they've dropped that. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. But kind of not at the same time as well, because Bioshock 2 was produced by a different developer to Bioshock 1. So this is the Bioshock 1 people coming back and taking on Bioshock again.
How does that work?
I suppose a bit like Call of Duty, really.
Yeah.
It keeps swapping the mantle.
Is this as good as 1 and 2? Can you notice that it's made by the original company or not?
Yeah, the big thing about it is that the setting has completely changed. So whereas before in Bioshock it's been under the water in Rapture, and Bioshock 2 returned to that, Infinite takes things up into the clouds. So,
okay, I'm interested.
Yeah, you've got this whole crazy city that is suspended by hot air balloons. Really sort of Heath Robinson looking.
Yeah.
And instead of being under the water, you've got to leap between all of these different little buildings that are all supported individually. And that was what they were showing, just the very beginning of how that place is going to look.
When's it going to be released? It sounds like it's going to be ages away.
Yeah. We're talking about next year sometime, maybe even the year after.
What, really?
Yeah.
Why do they do that? What's the point of saying, hey, here's a game, you don't have to get it for 16 months?
Well, there you go. Just keep you on your toes.
Well, I'm not
excited.
I'm not excited. I was excited, and now I'm not excited anymore, and I'm deliberately not going to buy it. It's to stick two fingers up to them, for goodness' sake.
But you'll have forgotten about that by then, because it'll be a year down the line.
Do you know, I will have forgotten about it by the end of this podcast, so that's that. Have you seen the advert for Halo Reach on the TV?
I'm not sure that I have, no.
Oh, you'd know if you had. It literally brought a tear to my eye.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really moving. It's really moving. I don't know if anyone else listening to this has been moved by it. It's, there's people dying, bombs going off, and it's all like lovely music. I find it quite stirring.
Well, it's always very emotive, isn't it? The whole Halo series, really.
Yeah.
We're recording this actually the day before Halo Reach launches.
You will have it in your grubby little mitts, dear listener, and you can go straight to the forum and tell us what you think of it, and we'll talk about that a lot, I'd imagine, in the next Gamecast.
Definitely.
Did you get to have a go on it?
Well, I received my review copy on Friday, actually, so I did get a chance.
Taylor, where's my review copy? What is this?
It's en route. It's coming.
Yeah, it's en route.
Sure.
It's waiting for me in game, and I've got to go and pay 50 quid for it tomorrow. That's where the route is. Okay.
I'll have a word with the man upstairs. It's so I got a hold of it on Friday, and despite having to go to France for half of the weekend, I did get a chance.
Having to go to France? Was this a romantic weekend?
No.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't. No, it was a job thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But
we had to go to France for the weekend. Listen to him, dear me.
It was a trip in and out of Calais. It wasn't.
Oh, okay. So you're on a booze cruise, basically. You're loading up the car full of cheap whiskey and vodka.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So you did get time to cram in some Halo Reach.
Yes, I did. I deliberately stuck just to the campaign mode, because the multiplayer hasn't been fully opened out ahead of the.
I was reading something
launch.
that they're going to reset it when it's launched properly tomorrow. That if any achievements that you make or anything, I didn't quite understand it. Anything that you've done in the game once it's officially released, it'll be reset and you start again.
Yeah,
is that right?
That'll be the multiplayer side of it. Because
Okay.
a lot of the things that are in there, such as credits, you can earn credits as you go through the game.
Okay.
You can't earn them at the moment,
Right.
either in single player or multiplayer. So all of that will be switched on when it's officially
Okay.
on sale. I know a lot of people actually got the game early because these online retailers were sending them out 3 days ahead of
They
time.
do that, don't they? Yes, that's a little sneaky little trick.
Yeah.
Trick, and I'm sure it must be legal because it's only a kind of embargo that the company imposes. It's not a legal binding thing, is it?
I'd imagine it's quite tricky territory because
Imagine-
if you annoy a big games publisher by selling their game early when they don't
Then
want
is
you
a
to.
big games publisher going to say to an online retailer? And I think I know who you're talking about, but I won't say just in case. You can't sell our game. We're not going to let you make money for us. It's weird, isn't it? But
Yeah.
okay.
It's a tricky situation.
Is it any good?
Yes, it's
Wicked.
epic. We've got our review on MSN Tech and Gadgets, which you can go check out as well.
Yeah.
Our reviewer there gave it 5 out of 5
Ooh.
stars, and for as far as I've got through it, it just feels immense.
Right.
There's a real sense of scale to it because this is about an entire planet. The whole point is that you go into this game already knowing what the ending's going to be, and so it gives you a kind of sense of fate about the whole thing as you're going through.
And you have you can't change that ending. That's
No.
set in stone. Okay.
No, yeah, you're done
That's
for.
weird.
Either way.
You're done for. I won't bother then if that's how it's going to be.
But apparently there's a couple of twists along the way, and I haven't even got that far that I can even get into that at all. The first really notable thing that I really picked up on as soon as I started playing it was the artificial intelligence, which feels really tight, really strong. The enemies in it, especially the elite, and well, in particular the hunters as well. The hunters are so fast and just come at you with these energy swords, and they're really, really tough enemies. And I think if you're looking for a real challenge, just crank up the difficulty right from the off, and it's quite rewarding.
Hardcore. Well, I'm going to have to treat myself to that. I haven't bought a computer game for a long, long time. I'm going to treat myself to that tomorrow.
The multiplayer is awesome as well. But of what I have played of it in the
thing I found about the online multiplayer of Halo, though, is you go on and you've just got these 12-year-old kids battering you. You just stand there and you're suddenly you're dead 5 times before I've even fired a single shot. Is it going to be more of that?
Yes. Well,
yes, you could say it.
It's
be honest.
a shooter, so it could have that element to it. It happens to me a lot. I get battered on these games, but that was actually, as an aside, that's one thing that's interesting about the new Call of Duty that's coming out.
This is Black Ops.
Black Ops, yeah. It's got a training mode in it that is effectively like online multiplayer, but you're just playing against computer-controlled players, so you can hone your skills, ideally, on that.
When is Black Ops coming out? That's not the 14th as well, is it?
Black Ops, no, we're looking at November.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
The exact date escapes me.
Because there's been a lot of, kind of... The Halo people have been saying we're going to destroy, and Black Ops going, no, I don't think so. I think we're going to destroy you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of getting quite... They'll both do huge business. It's the run-up to Christmas already.
Yeah.
I saw my first... we went into a bar the other night, and there was the first book your Christmas party here, and there was a table full of tinsel and a tiny little Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So Christmas is here. So they'll do shed loads of business.
They will, and I think people will probably buy both.
Yeah, I think
because
so.
they're quite distinct games,
Yeah.
really. I think in terms of shooters, the battle is more between Call of Duty and Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Because there you've got your real war type, both a real modern setting, and those you can really say.
Is Medal of Honor still going? Do they still make those games? Surely Call of Duty has just wiped them off, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. This is the reboot. This is Medal of Honor comes back for
version 2.0.
big hurrah. Yes, exactly.
Did you see anything else? Sounds like you had a whale of a time there.
Well, yeah, it was a really good show, actually.
Yeah.
The first time that I've been to Gamescom in Cologne.
Right.
And I would definitely recommend that anyone who is into games goes out there, because it's open to the public as well. Right. Anyone can just rock up, and it's there were a lot of games fans there as well. It was quite incredible the first day when they opened it, because we were already inside in the press room. And then they opened the gates to the public.
To the
They'd
real
been queuing
people.
up for like hours and hours.
Yeah.
And the place was just mobbed. That people were sprinting into the halls because
Fantastic.
they wanted to be first in line for all these various
Yeah.
games. So and there's a real sense of excitement around the place.
Yeah.
Very different to the Tokyo game show that you and I went to.
Tokyo was kind of, it was quite, I mean, it was busy, it was really busy, but it was everyone was very calm and it was quite sedate, and I mean, there was excitement, and people were seeing new stuff, and stuff, but it was, everyone was very polite.
Another game that I did want to speak about was
Yes.
Fallout New Vegas. And
okay.
I did get hands-on with that.
Okay, that must have
And,
been like a dream for you, because you totally love Fallout.
I
don't
do
you?
love Fallout. Yes,
Yeah.
it's looking really cool. I just got to play an hour of it, and it was an hour from the very beginning of the game.
So you were sat in a room for an hour just playing this game?
Yeah.
That's awesome, because normally they kind of give you like 10 minutes and...
Oh yeah.
Unless they're showing you something rubbish, like what was that rubbish game they showed us last year at Tokyo?
Oh, that was Avatar, wasn't it?
Oh, Avatar, and we kept trying to get away. And he kept saying, "Oh no, before you go, have a look at this." We're going,
Yeah.
we're sort of okay. We were there for like a week. It felt like playing
That
Avatar.
went on for a long time.
Tedious.
Yeah.
So you had an hour on Fallout Vegas,
Yes, I did. Yeah, but the thing is, an hour on Fallout Vegas isn't enough,
right?
Because it's a huge RPG game. So you're just playing it from the very beginning and choosing all of your game settings at the start as well, and what your character's going to be like, and you could pretty much spend an hour doing just that. But got out into the game and explored some of the first area that you get to in this, which is just on the outskirts of Vegas. So didn't get to go down the Vegas Strip, unfortunately, but. You kick off and you're obviously really low on weapons, but you chance upon this little town, and they've got a problem with some villains who are coming in, so you can strike up a deal to take them out to try to establish relations. But it feels like maybe the challenge has been cranked up a little bit, because you are really low on weapons, and I found myself after that getting ambushed by these little animals, these little gecko animals.
Yeah.
And I was down to my boxing gloves that I randomly had picked up from somewhere.
So you're
I found
boxing a
myself
gecko?
trying to box these geckos.
Wonderful.
Yeah. It doesn't work.
No.
I don't. When you do get your hands on the game, I don't recommend trying it.
Okay.
You get taken out quite quickly.
And when's that coming out? Do we know?
Fallout.
They've been talking about this again for ages. I don't like these big build-ups.
Yeah, this is. It's either October or November. It's before Christmas.
So it's going to be this year?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's something. Well, this month, Nick, I've not been playing any computer games.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not,
I should have brought you to Gamescom.
Oh, well, I would have loved to. The thing is, when you have a baby, it turns out it's really hard to play computer games, because you're sat down there thinking, right, I have a bit of Red Dead Redemption, and then there's a baby crawling around everywhere. So I'd saying that I did have one night. The night was my friend's wedding the other day, and he came and stayed with us the night before his wedding, and we did have a proper old school FIFA session up till 2 in the morning, just battering FIFA, which was wonderful. And I'd forgotten, this is FIFA 10, and I'd forgotten how good FIFA is with a mate. Or when you're playing on your own, it's a little, or you're online, there's something missing. But when you've got a mate sat next to you, and it becomes a proper grudge match. First match, I beat him 5-0. It's just wonderful. FIFA 11, you can play the goalkeeper. Is that true on the multiplayer?
Do you fancy that?
Well, it don't really do a lot, does it?
I don't know. I don't really get it. I haven't tried it yet. But you're right. The keeper is kind of peripheral in FIFA.
It doesn't really do a lot. Surely all it is I think you press the Y button to bring him out now. It took me ages to work out you could even bring him out. I thought he doesn't do anything. But then someone said, no, you press that button and he rushes out.
Yeah, that helps.
But yeah, being the goalkeeper...
I am a goalkeeper in my five-a-side team.
Oh, really?
In real life. So I should be really drawn to this. But
five-a-side goalkeeping's mental, though, isn't it? Because you just get battered.
Yeah.
Just straight in the face.
Get the odd black eye out of it.
Okay, well... any of those things that we've talked about that you're interested in, you want to talk about them, please go to the forum, leave your comments. I've been told I'm getting an official MSN login.
Yes.
So I can come in and I will come in to the forum this month and put you all in your place and tell you where you're going wrong. Business that we've got here. This is wonderful news. Choo Choo Rocket is coming to the iPhone. Did you ever play Choo Choo Rocket?
No, I remember the game, the first online Dreamcast game.
Such a good game.
But I never played it. What was so cool about it?
It was just awesome. It was because it was the first online game on a console, okay? Even on 56k dial-up, it worked like a dream. And it was just... I can't really remember... I remember you had to move things around a grid. And it was frantic... And it was exciting, and it played like a dream, and it's kind of been forgotten. And I've often thought that we should release it on their online store, because they're releasing a load of Sega games, or it would work perfectly on Xbox Live, that someone should do it. And finally it's coming out on the iPhone and the iPad, and I think you can play... Well, it says you can play multiplayer on the same device. I don't quite know how that would work. That would be too fiddly, but you can link up Wi-Fi. I don't think you can link up... no, you can link up Wi-Fi, sorry. So it's just... it's just like proper mental fun, really frantic, really fast, and so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Can't wait.
I have seen some of the multiplayer games on iPad have split screen, so you can play.
Oh, really?
Something like that.
Really?
Yeah. I suppose the screen's quite big.
25. Now, did we mention 25 years of Mario last time?
No, we didn't.
25 years of Mario.
This is officially today, as we speak.
Officially today.
Mario's birthday.
Have they got their maths wrong? What year was Donkey Kong? And are they counting that as a Mario game?
I don't think they are. I think we're talking about Super Mario Brothers.
Well, that's wrong then, because I think Donkey Kong I'm thinking was about 1982-ish, because I remember being about 10. It was definitely before I moved from Slough to Farnham Common, because we used to go to the fair in Slough and they had Donkey Kong there, if that means anything to anyone. We moved when I was 11. So it must have been 1982, 83.
But wasn't he known by a different name?
He was Jumpman.
Yeah.
But he was still Mario, though.
And so are we talking about when he was officially christened Mario?
I suppose we are. And now I'm a bit embarrassed, because there's an advert coming on for the 25 years of Mario, and they've got loads of people, and I'm on it. They've got me, Jonathan Ross, and Diversity. And I met the dance troupe, right?
Yeah.
I met Diversity, and I got really excited. I don't know why, because it's just Diversity. I couldn't care less. I went, it was the little lad who cracked his head outside 10 Downing Street. I said, are you Diversity? They went, yeah. I went, I'm a really big fan. Nice to meet you. And they're like, oh, you're all right. I'm not a big fan of urban dance. I don't know why I said it. I got nervous. But so I spent the whole advert talking about Donkey Kong. So they're obviously not going to use any of that. And I came out and said, hang on, Donkey Kong was more than 25 years ago. So they're probably not going to use any of that. But also, speaking of adverts, Jedward. You a fan of Jedward, Nick? One of your favourite pop acts?
I'm not too familiar with their work.
They're the ones with the hair.
Yeah, I know the guys. I saw one of them drive past the office the other day. Actually, he was in a taxi cab, and he was leaning his head
from the Victorian era. I say so. Is it a taxi cab?
En route to somewhere important, I'm sure. And, He was leaning out of the window with his big hair. I don't know which one it was, but the big stand-up hair.
That's how he gets the hair, by drying it out of the window.
It didn't move an inch.
No.
It didn't move an inch. He's going along about 30 miles an hour, and it's just completely solid. He had a big smile on his face, like a happy puppy.
Listen, if you were one of Jedward,
yeah,
and you were making as much money as they're making for having very little talent, you would have a grin on your face.
Yes,
like the Cheshire Cat.
That's true.
£250,000 they're getting for advertising Nintendo.
What exactly are they advertising about Nintendo?
That it's fun. That any idiot can play it. I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
I suppose this is a bit like the Ian Wright adverts where he's playing the Wii, sat on his sofa, that kind of thing. Is it?
I'm guessing it must be. But they got £250,000. I did an advert. I got nothing approaching that. I did it pretty much for a packet of sandwiches and the bus fare home. So they're obviously doing
incredible
good business. But I don't. But kids, I was about to say, are they really going to encourage people to play? Kids love Jedward.
Do they?
They do love Jedward.
I thought everyone had forgotten about them already.
They've got their own series on ITV4.
Oh, well. So there we go.
So, yeah,
world domination awaits.
But they do. I was doing this thing with some kids recently, and we were I was talking about pop groups, because everyone loves JLS. And I said, yeah, but you'll think Jedward's rubbish, don't you? They go, no, Jedward are excellent. So I don't think they said excellent. They said
something a lot more
hot cheese. I don't know what the kids say these days. Not butters. That means ugly. But so they love Jedward. So it might promote them. It might work. We need a piece of that pie.
Hair. We need to do the hair.
We need to do the hair. Yeah. Well, we're both getting a little bit shaggy. Maybe we can do something with this.
I'll come out and stand up.
If we're not including Donkey Kong, then what is your favourite Mario game?
I would probably go for the original Mario Kart. Am I allowed that? Am I allowed the karting ones?
Why are you asking me? I'm not the judge.
You're asking the question.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm the judge. Yes, you're allowed the Mario Kart.
Then I'll go for the Mario Kart on the Super NES.
Do you know what? I would go for Mario Kart on the GameCube.
Oh,
Don't know what the difference is. It's not that much difference.
slightly more spanky.
But yeah, I think Mario Kart is probably the one. Although, if I had to pick a platformer, it'll be Super Mario 64.
Okay, yeah.
Because the first time I saw that, the gaming just took a whole leap forward, I think, in terms of the graphics and the weirdness and just what you could do with the game.
Yeah. Well, that was incredible when
Yeah.
it came out. I would maybe also mention the first Mario Brothers that
Mention
came
it
out.
slowly, because I'm going to have a Jaffa cake while you do
Oh,
this.
okay, yeah. The first Mario Kart, the one that came out on the original Game Boy. So you're talking old black and white Mario Brothers on that, and that was brilliant. Just being able to have that in your hands, because I mean this is really old school, but
Keep going.
the original thing of on the move gaming.
Well done, you're just repeating it. So I never liked Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers. I found them a bit boring. I had a tabletop. I never know the difference between Mario Brothers, but I had a tabletop Mario Brothers. You know, the one where you got the platforms and you got to get the pipes and put them in and stop the bits leaking.
Oh,
and all
okay,
of that.
yeah.
I had all of that. But I also I met Miyamoto at I probably told you this a million times. Nintendo headquarters in Kyoto. I played him at Mario Brothers. I beat him at Mario Brothers.
I do remember you saying
yes,
this.
I
Yeah,
beat
yeah.
the man that invented Mario at Mario Brothers.
Solid.
He's the nicest man in the world.
Yeah.
Just this ball of enthusiasm, and he had this whiteboard, and I wish he'd done it on paper. He had this whiteboard, and he was just like drawing Mario and
Yeah.
doing all these doodles for us. I wish he'd done it on paper, and we'd kept that. Wonderful.
You would have to be excitable, wouldn't you, to have come up with the whole Mario concept?
He's like 60 now or something, isn't he?
Yeah,
Or is it 50? It's a big number.
55. Should we go?
Let's
for that?
split the difference. He's like 55 now.
Yeah.
But he doesn't look it. He still looks like a boy. You know, he's just got
Yeah.
is that enthusiasm. And anyway, go to the forum, please, dear listeners. Your favourite Mario game, and it's a travesty, isn't it, that Donkey Kong isn't counted as a Mario game? Surely.
Oh, that forum, by the way, is at tinyurl.com/MSN Gamecast. Go there now.
And apparently, it's called Donkey Kong. I can't quite remember the story of this, but Miyamoto thought it sounded cool in English.
Yeah, because there's this other story that says someone got confused and it was meant to be Monkey Kong, but apparently that's a lie.
Yeah, I think that's a lie. I think he just thought it sounded cool and didn't realise that it didn't actually make sense.
Yeah.
And you know the thing about Pac-Man, that the guy who made it was having pizza. Have you heard this?
And took the slice out. And
That's
thought that
that's
was
nonsense. That's such nonsense. And I think he's come out and said, "Oh yeah, you know." We interviewed him as well on the same trip at Namco. It's Namco, isn't it? I think, yeah. And it's weird because I think Pac-Man is the only thing this guy's done. I say the only thing is Pac-Man. You know, it's awesome. And he was very nervous and very shaky. And we had these Namco officials next to us to make sure that he towed the party line, and he trotted out that line while I was having a pizza.
Oh, really?
And I cut a slice out, and I thought, oh, yeah. And you know it used to be called Puck-Man?
Yes.
And they changed that because kids were going around blacking out a bit of the P, so it said
Oh,
they were doing that.
I see.
So they changed it to
I
Pac-Man.
didn't know that.
Anyway, we're reminiscing about stuff that don't need to. New 360 controller.
Yes. Shiny.
Silver. Moving on. No, is that all there is to it? There's a thing you can pick up and twist. I don't quite know what it does.
The D-pad.
But what does it do? You've printed something off the internet, so this must be true.
We have a nice picture of it in front of us. It's very silver. It's very cool looking, and I do want one. The D-pad you can twist, so it will raise it up a tiny little bit.
But pourquoi? Why?
So it's more accessible to your thumb.
But it's still just there.
But yeah, it's like if it's up a little bit higher, you don't need to push down quite so far.
Save the thumb
So,
strain.
yeah. Exactly.
Anything else about it?
It's got really cool buttons.
You're listening to the MSN Gamecast with the tech and gadgets editor, Nick Taylor. Thanks for that, Nick. Excellent
Well,
review. But that does
They are
seem to
very
be...
cool buttons.
They are very cool. They are... I shouldn't laugh. They are indeed very cool buttons. But that seems to be... Let me have a look at this picture here. Come on, a piece of this pie.
You got one too.
Oh, have I? Okay, well, you can have my one then.
But the buttons are kind of like black and white, and the whole thing has this kind of monochrome effect to it, as well as the silver casing. So it's mainly just a bit of styling.
Do you know what I think about this, Nick?
But I like it.
That's what I think about that. So, what else have you got? You've got some business for us as well, haven't you, that
I
you've
do.
come up with?
Yes, somewhere about. Well, I was going to have a little chat about Duke Nukem Forever.
This has been in development for like 1 million years or
Yes.
something.
Yeah, or 13.
13 years?
Well, it will be 13 by the time it comes out, which is next year.
Okay.
Like many games at the moment. But yeah, it's finally official. It's coming. It's pretty much built.
Right.
It's been out and about on display.
Yeah.
People have actually played it now. So there we go. It's coming.
Why has it taken 13 years?
It's just it's almost become a running joke
Right.
that this game is still on the back burner.
Yeah.
It's being developed, and then there was issues where the company that owned it went under.
Oh, okay.
And so now the license has been bought up, and finally they're going to make it, because obviously there's still a lot of money there.
Yeah.
Loads of people are really hanging out for this game.
How upset would you be if you waited 13 years for a game, it comes out and it's utter rubbish?
Yeah, it needs to be good, doesn't it?
It needs to be good. A 13-year build-up. Do we know anything about it? Is Bruce Campbell still doing the voice? Do we know anything, or is it all hush-hush?
There's been a couple of hands-on previews floating around the internet where people are describing a game that seems to be a bit of an ode to retro shooters, really.
Okay.
So
I like it.
As you would expect with that development that's taken time,
Yep.
all of that time, there is quite a lot of old school styling in it.
Yep.
And I think then from how it sounds, they're not going to try to move it away from that completely.
Okay.
So you're going to get a much more classic feel shooter than the current raft of COD and
I like
Medal
it.
of Honor and
I'm
everything
there.
like that. And obviously all of the usual Duke Nukem over-the-top type
Yeah.
stuff as well.
You can't go... Well, maybe you can go wrong with a bit of Duke Nukem. We'll see. But with that next year...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sometime next year. So yeah, that sounds good.
Other business?
Golden joysticks are coming up.
Oh, yes. Now, you lot are involved in this, aren't you?
We are, yes. MSN is an official media partner.
Okay. What does that mean?
It means we get to sponsor an award.
Wicked.
Yes, we're sponsoring the One to Watch award, which is all about the biggest games that are upcoming and which ones people are most
So it's
excited
an award
about.
for a game that hasn't come out yet?
Yeah,
Well, that's
basically,
exciting.
Yeah. So that's
Are we allowed to... do you know who's up for it? Are we allowed to say? Is it unbongoed, or is...
No, the nominees are all up there, and,
Okay.
and you can vote on them now. In fact, if you go to MSN Tech and Gadgets and go into the gaming section, we've got an official voting page on there, so you can place all your votes for the joysticks. And
Are you allowed to
have
tell
your
me?
say.
Are you going to tell me, or am I going to have to punch you until you tell me?
There's a lot of games in each category.
You don't
so
know, do you?
I-
Okay, well done. You could have just said that, and I would have stopped bullying you. And when's it happening, the Golden Joysticks?
The actual event is happening on 29th of October,
Right.
but you can keep voting all the way up until
Okay.
the week before.
Who's
So-
hosting it this year? And why
That's
was I not
secret.
asked?
Maybe it is you.
Or maybe it isn't, but maybe it is. It isn't.
Could be a big secret.
I'm on
but
Come Dine
I
with
don't
Me
know.
this week.
Are you?
Yeah, by the time you get this, kids, it will have been on. Go
And we
to-
can talk about it now as well.
We can
'cause
talk about it now.
Been
yeah.
on, yeah.
Yeah, we
So-
can talk about it.
Yeah.
Deb-
How was it?
It was awful. I hated it. Debbie McGee,
Yep.
Jodie Marsh, Lembit Opik. Two of those people were lovely. One of them was an idiot. Watch it and see if you can spot him. It was hideous. I hated it.
Did you get any nice dinner though?
Jodie Marsh cooks a lovely cheese souffle.
Oh, there you go.
This is going out because I can say she won and I came last. Anyway, it was horrible. Irrelevant to gaming. They should bring out a Come Dine With Me game. They probably will do. Any other bits and pieces? You've done loads of work.
Call of Duty,
Yes.
Black Ops coming up.
Yeah.
New feature in it.
Yeah.
In the multiplayer, you can wager with each other.
Oh, yes. Now, I've heard about this from other people. This sounds awesome. It's not real money, though, is it?
No, it's not. No, this is in-game currency.
What does
But
that mean?
The real money thing's probably coming, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
a few years down the line. But for the moment, this is credits that you can collect as you go through the game for completing various challenges.
Okay, so you don't buy them.
No.
You get them through shooting people.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right,
There's
yeah.
no real money involved
Okay.
at any stage. What you can do is put these up in a wager in a multiplayer game and win more. And the idea of winning these credits is that you spend them on better weapons and upgrades and your kill streak perks and things like that.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, I think it's
Why
really
has that
neat.
not been done before? That's brilliant.
It's true, yeah. It's, it will really add a nice twist to multiplayer, I think.
But I know I'd go in there and I saved up maybe, 1,000 credits. Is that a lot? I don't know. And we'll just go in some kid and say, right, 1,000 credits. And I would lose it just straight away.
Yeah.
Be awful.
There is that.
They should do it. They should do it with real money. With, like, credits, you know, like the Xbox credits or whatever, you should be able to just go on and buy a load, 400, 500, 1,000 credits and go and...
Well, there is that Virgin Gaming site that's just been launched quite recently.
Is this on Xbox Live or on the online?
It's just a general gaming site.
Right.
So it works with the top level consoles and PC as well, maybe.
Okay.
Let's check. But you can bet on a select group of games.
Yeah.
Basically, by the way that it works is you pay an entry fee and you go into a tournament. So, for instance, you can play a FIFA tournament against a load of other people, and if you win the tournament, you win the cash. So that.
Gaming just suddenly got interesting again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd be well up for that. I am quite excited about Black Ops.
Yeah.
And the Halo. That's 2 games I'm going to have to treat myself to, I think, this month.
The only other thing I was going to mention was Dead Rising 2.
Ah, yes, go on.
Can't talk about the game yet because it is embargoed until release date, which is September.
That's odd as well, because we won't cross that line. But by talking about the game, what are they losing? Surely that's only doing them a favour, unless it's a stinker, which I don't think it is. But
no.
It's weird, isn't it, that whole thing?
It is, yeah, especially to have the embargo running right up to release date. It's normally you can talk about it a week or two beforehand, but no.
Okay, it's going to sell shed loads anyway.
Lips are sealed. What we can talk about, and what has been out already, is Case Zero, which is the prequel level that's been available on Xbox Live.
Yep.
And this is effectively a standalone slice of Dead Rising 2.
Yeah.
Really good fun. Does cost 400 points to download. But you get a decent amount of gameplay for it, and it gives you a really good feel for what the game is ultimately going to be like. And,
but you can't talk about it.
I can talk about that one because that's out there now, and you can download that.
It's a weird world we live in.
Yes, it's a good sign of what hopefully Dead Rising is going to be, which is all of the good stuff from Dead Rising 1, but without the annoying glitches that really hampered that.
Dead Rising, that was the one where you were in the shopping mall, wasn't it? And it had a terrible save feature. I spoke to Capcom, isn't it? I spoke to Leo Tan, who you must have had dealings with. Is the loveliest man, works at Capcom, and he's a brilliant salesman. Because I said, come on, man, when Dead Rising 2 comes out, you've got to have got rid of that awful save feature where you have to go all the way back. He said, "Oh no, that wasn't an awful that wasn't an awful feature. That just made the game more challenging." Challenging or tedious, Leo? I don't know, but he's an excellent salesman and does his job properly. Well,
that's still there. That save feature.
Okay, so you've got to go all the way back.
But
are you allowed? Now think carefully before you speak. Are you allowed to say these things?
Yes. This in the prologue bit.
Be so careful. I don't want MSM to get blacklisted from Capcom.
No, that would be terrible.
A friendly, healthy relationship.
But this is in Case Zero in the prequel bit. Right. You do still save by going to the restrooms, as they refer to them. But there are also some save points built in when you get to the end of a particular chapter,
which is great.
And they're few and far between compared to some other games.
Yeah.
But they are still there. So hopefully, in the full game, they've come to a kind of balance between the two.
Games nowadays, they save pretty much all the time, which is great. Do you remember the first Tomb Raider, where you had to find that kind of floating diamond or something?
Yeah.
And sometimes it took absolutely ages, and it would pain in the backside.
And if you were stuck on a particular bit and you just couldn't get past
and
that
suddenly
bit,
it's 3 o'clock in the morning and awful.
Yeah.
But most of them now, when you see this symbol, do not turn off your Xbox. The game is saving. The forum, kids.
To the forums.
Speed Racer says, when is Gran Turismo 5 3D going to be released? You mentioned it in the August podcast, but did not give a release date. Although then you've replied already. You guys are good. Gran Turismo 5 is coming out on the 2nd November in the States. We've not had a confirmed date for the European release, but if it follows the usual pattern, out on Tuesday in the US, Friday in the UK, it'll be the 5th of November. I think we asked, what games had you finished?
Yes, that's
last
right,
month.
We did, yeah.
Because I very rarely finish a game. Johnny J, 26. I've just completed Mass Effect 2 for the second time.
That's hardcore.
It does always strike me as odd when people do games for a second time.
I kind of get it with Mass Effect 2 because there's so many different ways that you can approach the game. But nonetheless, that's pretty hardcore because that's a big old game.
And before that was Bioshock 2, which was rubbish compared to the first one. And I can't wait for GT5. And God knows we have waited, eh? As for August, it's a games desert. For sure I had a dabble at Singularity and Metro, both just okay, so let's hope September is better. I'm not a big online player, so I wonder if Reach campaign will be any good. Billy Brush, their last game finish was Nier, I don't know what that is. Sorry, you got Jaffa cake in your mouth.
I'm Jaffa caking away. That was a Square Enix game.
Took 17 hours. Never played anything quite like this game. However, if I could wind back time, I'd probably skip it.
That's a downer, isn't it?
It's hard to cut your losses when you're 10 hours in, though. Oh, here we go. Here comes the backlash. The Duke, Ian. I finished Limbo without any walkthrough. You should be ashamed. Yes. Ooh. Oh, did you do? You were stuck on a bit with the cart.
Yes.
Did you do it without cheating?
I did. I did the whole game, no walkthroughs at all.
Oh, you're a tenner.
You do, yeah. I'll have to take you up on that one time.
Well, if I've got my word, listen, I am a man of my word. If I've got it. Have you got any change for a 20?
Change for a 20? No, I don't.
I'll have to give it to you next month, Mick. Sorry about that. Yeah.
That was the sound of Ian rustling through his wallet.
It doesn't happen very often. I'll give it next month if. Yes, good game. End got a bit boring and would have liked more spiders, insects. They looked amazing. I thought it was great. I loved that. The ending I thought was wonderful.
Yeah, I did like the spiders bit the best because that was the really creepy bit, I thought. And that was when you did all those bizarre things like pulling the body along to cross. And
that was very macabre. Apparently, there's like theories as to what the game is about. The main theory is that the kid was in a car crash, and that's kind of the story.
Oh, okay. I
don't know if that's true or not.
I don't need these theories.
I don't really
care what it is.
I think now that Lost has finished, people are looking for more things to look for hidden meaning in. Really, there isn't none. No Shadow. Talking about Billy Brush playing Nier. I'm too far into Nier to want to give up, but I'm not loving it. Now that's weird, man. If you're not enjoying a game, just stop playing it.
It's not a job.
Exactly. I mean, if you're getting paid to do it, then you carry on and do it. But honestly, gaming is meant to be fun, and I think we forget that so much. It's meant to be fun, and now I've got a kid, and I'm 37. I have not got time to mess around. If I'm not enjoying a game, it's gone.
It's definitely part of gaming culture now, though, isn't it? Because you've even got the word grind for levelling up, and it can become a grind sometimes because you do just want to get to the end and say that you've completed it. And
this person hates this game. I'm not loving it. People told me there is a great incentive to replay it with a different set of characters and slightly different story. I'm not getting that at all. This is a prime example of a preview trailer seriously misleading the audience. From some of the trailers I saw, the game looked like an old-school Devil May Cry. Boy, is that not true in the slightest. No, Shadow, go and put the game down. Go and trade it in. If you're not liking it,
move on.
Stoner99. Batman Arkham Asylum for me, which was brilliant, as discussed in another thread. Currently have about 4 games on the go, so don't expect to complete anything before 2013. On another note, I traded Forza 3 the other day, as simulators don't quite do it for me. I picked up a copy of Split Second Velocity. F me, what a game. I'm surprised I've heard so little about it. Perfect example of a modern-day arcade racer. Do yourself a favour and download the demo. I might do that.
Yeah, it's a very good game. And we've spoken about Split Second on this podcast before.
I believe we have done, yes. You hear it all here. Not necessarily first, but you hear it here. Have you got anything there that is...
Well, we had this other message board which I brought in because it mentioned how your mojo left you one time.
My mojo did leave me one time. I got very, very bored of gaming. And
a few people having the similar problem.
Okay, Johnny J26. Okay, I know Ian lost... or has still lost his game mojo. Not still lost it. It went, and this was probably about a year ago, 18 months ago. It went. I would try playing, and just got no joy from it, and kind of gave up for a couple of months. To be honest, mine has done a major runner the past few months, or is it just August? I know Reach is coming soon. In fact, to my birthday, but is it more of the same? I wonder if there's something more, and I don't mean Kinect or PlayStation Move. It's a tough one. I'd be interested to know how, Johnny J26, I don't know, 26? Who knows with a name like that? Is it a mid to late 30s thing where suddenly you realise there's more to life than gaming? I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it might be something like that. When you first get into games, they're all-consuming.
Yeah.
And you will happily spend an entire weekend doing nothing more than gaming. And then maybe when you don't find a game that grabs you in that way for a while... But they are still out there. I think you just have to broaden the sort of games that you're playing and go and look for something a bit quirky. I mean, Limbo really did that for me, which we spoke about last month.
Limbo was very exciting.
Yeah, it was a really good example of how innovative games still can be.
Forerunner Relic says, I've mentioned in other posts that my mojo has been waning. After playing Super Mario Galaxy, I felt invigorated again. But now I'm just fed up. I should be playing Just Cause 2, but can't be bothered. I'm sick of Japanese games forcing you to play the way they want you to. And Western games are great when they're innovative, not like Crackdown 2. I hate that game. Crackdown 2's had some ropey, not necessarily reviews, but comments online. from the kids.
Mixed, I think.
Mixed
is
a good way of putting it,
yeah.
yes. Stoner99, thank you very much for coming on the forums. Do you not have a job? This is just there all the time. Do you not have a job, sir? But we appreciate it, and more people coming on the forums, please. Spread the word and tell your friends. Now, we've got a couple of questions that we want to ask specifically. We'll throw out there, what is your favourite Mario game, and is it a crime that Nintendo are rewriting history by excluding Donkey Kong as a Mario game? And what else did you have, Nick?
Will you play as keeper on FIFA 11?
Will you play as... It is kind of like being the fat kid at school, you know. you can go in goal. You kind of always feel... And I wasn't the fat kid, but I was not good at football, and I was one of the last people to be chosen.
Yeah.
And it is... Going in goal, and I know you do it, but going in goal, it's not...
You'll take a battering online as well, won't you?
Yeah.
If you're keeper and you make a Robert Green style howler, you know the sort of grief you get just in shooters from random punters.
Yeah, with a ball. Would you choose to play in goal online, dear listener? And what else do you have?
Could be tough. What shooter are you most looking forward to out of what remains of 2010? We've got some really big ones coming out. Halo Reach already out. Medal of Honor on its way. Call of Duty Black Ops.
Well, should we limit it to those three? Let's say Halo Reach, Call of Duty Black Ops, Medal of Honor. Which one of those three is the one that you're really looking forward to? And Halo Reach will be out as you're listening to this. You could well be playing it as you're listening to this. Let us know what you think. Give us your little reviews and we will read them next month. The forum address is...
The easy way to get there is to go to tinyurl.com/MSN Gamecast.
And don't forget, you can download the Gamecasts from the MSN website. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes. I believe that's still
very much so.
An option. We always love hearing from you. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Iain Lee. Nick, you're on Twitter as well, aren't you? We should probably do all this business. I think this is what the kids are into. Yeah,
get with the programme. I'm at MSN Tech Nick.
And it's Nick with an N-I-K.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so you follow us there, and we kind of update when the podcast has been released and updated and stuff. So it's all good. I think that's everything.
Yep.
Verity will be back next month. She better have brought us some Pocky or some Japanese sweeties.
She has been fully briefed.
Well, well done. Until next month, ta-ta.
See you now.
Gamecast from MSN.